We're live. Sorry, we apologize for the technical conditions here. We have a lot of stuff going on in the production truck here, but there was a caution flag out for James Duke, a spin down into turn number 1 that sets the first caution flag of the evening, and we're about to go back green flag racing here. They're coming off of turn number 4 right now, and it's Chuck Sweeting who's out front at the moment. Going back green right now. Wow, he got the huge jump, Mr. Chuck Sweeting did, as they head down to turn 1. James Duke is back into 23rd position, and everybody did, just trying to make sure nobody took a pit stop. The only driver that did take a pit stop is Jordan Teal, who took 2 tires, everybody else on 4 tires. So that's practically 13th on back, but Teal's actually making up a little ground back there at the moment in about 11th place.
Got some side-by-side racing between Paul Ross and Peter Short right here. That's for the 4th spot. Sam Close trying to get into that mix as well.
Ooh, Golden might go 3 wide just right here. Sam Close getting underneath his teammate. Oh, contact between the teammates. And there is some left front damage on the 18 of Ross's car. But Sam Close, he's trying to at least get a win before the regular season because he's been one of the most competitive guys on the season, and this is the last race before the playoffs. And what a way to enter the playoffs is try to get a win.
Well, I don't think that's going to hurt Paul Alt too much. Arrow, I don't think, plays too big of a factor here, so... Oh, and apparently we are back live, so... Welcome back, everybody. We apologize for those issues. It figures the computer blue screen, so back with you live. Didn't miss anything. There was just a caution flag, and we're still racing here.
All them gremlins, you know,
of course, yeah.
Glitch gremlins, man. I hate them too.
And you know what? They don't show themselves before they go live or after they go live. So glad we're back with you. So.
And the chat is still up too, so that's a great thing as well. Chuck Sweeting's still leading these guys around the racetrack here. He's kind of pulled a little bit of a distance on Levi Zielinski, who was our Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award this evening. Kevin Finn remaining in the 3rd spot at the moment, along with Peter Short and Sam Close running off the top 5. Those top 5 drivers are relatively single file at the moment. Trying to find the first side-by-side battle on the track. And that's going to be consisting. Actually, everybody's single file. Every single driver is single file. Peter Short, number 22, Mike's Hard Lemonade Ford. Started 5th, in 4th. How about a driver on the move since the drop of the green flag this evening? Cameron Rich in 10th place, started 20th.
And that's no real surprise with Cameron. Always finds a way up towards the front, he does. And Tanner, I think as we move into the playoffs here, he's going to be arguably the best driver throughout these playoffs. He's shown it through the regular season that he's been a strong contender, and I think it's going to be even tougher for this competition once I'm sure Cameron's going to click into playoff mode after this race, and it's probably going to be even tougher to keep up with him.
Yeah, most definitely. Cameron Rich, I mean, he's fast no matter what he does out there on any racetrack, and right now he's always shown the speed every single week. Just tonight he decided not to take qualification spot. Rightfully so, realistically, because he's already locked into the playoffs. He doesn't have to push anything. He can just go out there and have fun, and that's a great thing about when you have the wins on your in your column there. Trying to go through the field here. How about a little bit of an update on Mr. David Wilson? Started 3rd. He's backed up all the way to 14th.
Well,
not sure what's going on there.
Picked him to win, and it looks like he's having a little bit of early struggles. So
David is doing VR, folks. He has a Twitch channel. You might have to find him on iRacing when you go on Twitch.com and you type in iRacing. I mean, he does live stream his races in a VR mode with a headset, so that's always cool to watch. And it'd be really cool to see that in victory lane. Another dry. Oh,
I was going to say, got a little bit of a side-by-side battle back here between James Duke and Richard Hines. Oh, wow, Duke really loose off the corner, actually, there.
Yeah, Duke was the driver that brought out the first caution of a spin down in turn 1 and 2. Right now he remains in the 19th spot. Nothing really happening within the top 5. They're all single file, just kind of following each other around the speedway. Cameron Rich going for position on number 56, Tate Lytle. Of course, Tate Lytle was started 8th, backed up to 10th now. He was the truck winner last night at Kansas. Still remaining single file up towards the front here. Everybody else, actually the top 10 is practically single file. Cameron Rich setting his sights on the number 44 of Matt Hackathorn. Not really anything battling it towards the back of the pack. Might see Chad Brown here possibly putting some pressure on the 33.
Look like Hagthorn got a little bit out of the groove there, and that allows Cam Rich to easily slide by, put him into 8th position.
Rich is on the move. He's got another car ahead of him, and that's going to be Luis Salmaso for 7th. There's that 33 back there. Have you got on screen there, Justin?
Yeah. I was going to say, I saw just out of the corner of my eye, he got a little bit loose off turn 2. He was side by side with Chad Brown, and ooh, wow. That was aggressive. Oh, yeah, I don't think he's too happy about that one. Oh, and there he goes! There around goes Chad Brown and off the front bumper of Jordan Teal. As Carlos would say, got that one live.
Second caution of the evening here at Richmond. We'll have to bring it up on replay to show exactly what happened. My goodness.
So it looks like this was off turn 4, and what you're going to see here is Chad Brown looked like he got really aggressive going into the corner there. And I think we call that a dive bomb, I think it's safe to say, and didn't quite like that one and turned to Brown there.
I always say, man, it's always being the better man, not to spin on your competition intentionally. Or I don't want to say he did it intentionally. You know, I don't want to go on a limb and just say that. But he spun out Chad Brown down on that back straightaway after Brown got into the corner hard. Right there, you see it. It's actually a crazy thing. He actually made it stick too.
Yeah. And
pit stops.
Oh, yep, nope. Pit stops.
Yeah, pit stops going on right now. This is gonna be a 4-tire pit stop for everybody. And looks like Chuck Sweeting's going to beat Kevin Finn. Oh, wait, did Kevin Finn win? Nope, Kevin Finn, he did not beat Levi Zielinski off of pit road, so Levi's in 2nd, Kevin Finn 3rd, Paul Ross 4th, Sam Close running off the top 5, coming off the pits. What were you going to say, Jared, Justin, before the pit stops?
Well, you know, it surprises me, really, Tanner, that just thinking about it, we're only 30 laps into the race and already seeing guys get that aggressive. It just kind of shocks me, and already seeing some aggression as well. You'd have to assume that obviously Tate Lytle, or I'm sorry, Jordan Teal wasn't too happy with that move that Chad Brown pulled and turned him around.
Are you thinking about last night?
Well, nothing happened to me last night. Nothing happened to me last night, but I know you had the adventure.
You know, there was some. I'll be honest. There was some guys that were pretty aggressive in the early portion of the race last night in the Kansas race in the trucks, and tonight you could see some aggression towards other drivers, even though it's still early in the race. So, I mean, you'll get that. There will be some drivers who are just aggressive right off the bat, and there are some drivers who will just kind of take it easy and see what the car is going to give them, see where they're going to end up, or past that halfway point of the race.
Yeah, well, and when you think about it too, Chad Brown on the bubble, but really no competition there. And it looked like he got some damage from that. Well, he's actually still on pit road, so looks like he got a decent amount of damage from that, but I'm not sure that'll affect him too much in the playoff standings there, but something to think about.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah, Chad Brown, where was he in the playoff standings? Because I could have sworn I called his name during the top of the show. He was 12th. So realistically, yeah, Mike Stevens will gain on him, but that's 31 points you got to gain on him. That's not going to be enough. Really? I mean, yeah, that's not going to be enough because there's only 24 drivers that started the event.
That's true, yeah.
All right. Well, nonetheless, here we have the one-to-go signal. We're down the back straightaway. Chuck Sweeting's on point. And Justin, if you're able to, you can probably bring him down to the green.
We'll try and do this multitasking. Hopefully, computer doesn't give up again, but Chuck Sweeting bringing him down here, gets a good launch, and we're off. And it'll be the fight, really, for third there between Kevin Finn and Paul Ross. Levi Zielinski easily into second there, and a little check up by Kevin Finn there. But it'll be side by side off corner number 2 with Paul Ross and Kevin Finn, and looks like you can give the position to Paul Ross there.
As you were talking, Justin, I was trying to point out back of the pack any kind of incidents back there, but there's some heavy-duty battling back here. Matt Hackathorn on back. It's a bunch of drivers. Oh, Cameron Rich tried getting underneath the 14 of Finn, and I think there might have been a very slight contact between the two drivers. Sam Close getting underneath 17 now of Rich. Maybe not. I think actually Rich had a pretty decent run coming off of turn 4. Car up way towards high above the wall. That's Levi Zielinski.
And he's going to lose a ton of spots here. Going to get stuck up in the high side. See if he can't. Well, actually, wow, he gets some good power off corner number 4 there, and we'll get the spot from Sam.
Oh, man, what the heck happened to Levi?
See if we can take a look here. Into 2. Oh, Chuck Sweeting actually got loose, and Levi had to take evasive action there.
Oh man, yeah, Levi took evasive action, but at the same time, Levi got loose doing it. He got hard on the brakes in the back end of the car, just stepped around. That could have been big.
That could have been very big. He about got into that wall.
Number 22, Peter Short, getting underneath Sam Close for 6th. Sam's trying to come back. Cannot complete the pass. So that'll put the 22 of Peter Short in 6th place. Now back up Sam Close in 7th. Everybody getting single file here at the moment.
I was going to say, it looks like we're all just kind of logging laps again at this point.
Might have a battle for the lead brewing up here because Paul Ross is pushing a little pressure on that 26 car of Chuck Sweeting. Gets a nice run coming off turn number 4, but again, you don't want to run over your competitor.
And the one thing I'm noticing, Tanner, is Paul's entering just a little bit higher, and you're going to see, well, I thought he was going to get a better run than he did, but I've seen some guys enter a little bit higher into turn 1 now. Oh, caution's up.
We got a wreck in the back of the pack.
It looks like the 33 of Jordan Teal around on the back straightaway.
Uh-oh. Now, remember, he was one of those drivers that were sort of involved with that incident with Chad Brown. Let's see if Brown had anything to do with this.
No, he just got loose off turn 2 there.
Yep, just got loose.
He was struggling with that thing.
Relatively similar to Levi's.
Yeah.
No contact with the inside wall.
He enters the corner a little bit high there and just never quite had the grip around the corner. And luckily, nobody hit him there. Wow.
Wow, man, I don't know. We're on replay right now, but Paul Ross almost T-boned the yellow barrels And Paul, they don't separate themselves in pit road unlike the old NASCAR games.
Yeah.
Chuck Sweeting brings down the field, though.
Oh, wow, yeah. That got really close there with Paul. Like you mentioned, cut some guys in.
Assuming this is going to be a 4-tire pit stop. Paul Ross, Sam Close, Luis Amasso, Richard Lafferty, Kevin Finn have all, yeah, they've all stayed out. So 5 cars will stay out. Everybody else comes in.
Tell you what, we showed you the replay. Paul Ross about had to come in with how close he got to those barrels.
Yeah, like I said, man, those barrels don't leave pit road. They are actually stuck there. Remember, I don't know if you were a part of it, Justin. I think you were. Back in the old 3Y Racing League's console days, where you hit them barrels and we had a barrel problem.
I didn't race too much with you guys on console, but I definitely remember those NASCAR 14 days, hitting those barrels and just making a mess everywhere.
And this was the track where it was most famous at. But hey, we get to actually see how 13 lap difference of tires is.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Paul Ross was holding anything back there on that run either. He was getting after the lead there.
So the top 5 cars, actually, excuse me, top 4 cars. I have to correct myself, top 4 cars, not top 5, top 4. Paul Ross, Sam Close, Luis Amasso, and Richard Lafferty have all stayed out. Kevin Finn actually is the first driver on tires. He took a 2-tire pit stop under this caution flag to where everybody else took 4 tires. Another driver that did take 2 tires was James Duke. He's currently in 11th place. Another driver, Chad Brown, took 2 tires. He's currently in 15th. So we should have the 2 to go signal this time by, as the drivers are now heading down in turns 3 and 4. When they get to the start finish line, we should get to see the 1 to go signal.
I was gonna say they're definitely doubling up, like they're ready to go. Well, it's gonna be a 3OG front row here. Paul Ross and Sam Close, and actually their teammate right behind them as well, Luis Amasso.
3OG, 1, 2, 3.
How about Richard Lafferty back there in 4th? He's picked up the pace these past couple weeks.
He has, and he stayed out under this caution, so he's under the same strategy as the 3OG boys. Richard Lafferty driving for Johnny Thomas Racing.
And like you said, this is going to be interesting to see. I mean, even though it's 13 laps, it's going to give us an idea of how much tires are going to matter tonight. As you can see, Paul Ross switches to the outside there. He will take the outside row.
Chuck Sweeting's been the fastest guy. He's in 6th place. Here we go. Paul's on the horns. And we're off. Ooh, almost caught. Oh, Kevin Finn on the apron. Washing up. Oh, man. Contact. Levi Zielinski.
Oh, man. He gets hit hard.
Well, there was a delay on the caution flag, too.
We got a lot of guys torn up in that. You got Levi, David Wilson, Jordan Teal, I see. I don't know if he got into that, but
James Duke hit the back bumper pretty good on the Fit 44 of Hackathorn.
Let's take a look.
Lytle, you said's involved?
A little bit further back on that. Looked like that started with Kevin Finn there, and I'm not sure if he got hit by the 17 there. Oh, yeah, he did. I think he checked up a little early there. And slid back onto the track, got Levi.
And do you have any onboard of Brent Miller?
Let's take a look.
Number 98.
Yeah, let's take a look in his in-car.
I might have a good one for you.
All right, well, take a look at it on the restart here.
All right, right now you can't really see anything right here. So they're going to go down in turn number 1. Right now, you can't really see what's happening on that back straightaway. You can't really see anything. He's going to dive to the bottom side of the racetrack. Cars everywhere. Whoa! What line do you go when the cars are just spread out like that?
That's a great question, and that backstretch isn't that wide either. So
That's some good works right there.
Well, this caution's going to allow Paul Ross to lead some more laps here.
It is. It most certainly is. So realistically, we didn't get a chance to see what the difference was, such as tires, because the top 4 drivers still remain top 4 who stayed out. So this will bring out our, was this 3rd caution?
Yes, sir. 3rd caution.
3rd caution of the night. Now, where did Cameron Rich go? Rich is on pit road. Did he,
I think he did get some damage, because he did get into the 14 of Kevin Finn, and that's what sent him around. I guess it was pretty bad for him to stay on pit road, or maybe he just wanted to take this time to repair it.
I'm just quickly going back and taking a look at the incident. Yeah, he hit the 14 pretty good. That allowed the 14. That gave the 14 a launch off the track. And he hit him in the spot to where it could damage the grill a little bit. Oh, he clicked a little bit of netcode damage too. There wasn't really any contact with the 59 of Zielinski and the 17 of Rich, but the netcode was enough to send the 59 to the outside wall.
What's
interesting?
That got a whole lot of good guys there. Levi Zielinski is still on pit road. I believe he's 2 laps down. So, got Mike Stevens with no rear bumper there. I know the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. Yeah, he's a modified right now. Well, looks like we got 1 to go here, and Paul Ross will take the outside once again.
Yeah, Paul's been pretty fast. He's got his teammates behind him. This is going to give the 3 OG guys the inside row. So Paul's being pretty generous to his teammates here, because those 3 OG drivers sit in 2nd on the bottom, which is Sam Close in the 5, and the number 4, who's in 3rd. Paul gets on the gas, and we're back racing at Richmond.
Another good jump there, and the race will be on for 2nd as Luis Almanzo.
Oh, Salmaso's around.
Oh, and there will be no caution. Well, now there's going to be caution, I believe.
Nope.
Nope, no caution.
You remain green.
Well, let's take a quick look real quick at what happened there. So I believe it was the same case as Kevin Finn. No, he just got loose into the corner there.
I thought there was oh, maybe not. He just got loose. You're right.
Yeah, just went around. It was almost the same as what Jordan Teal had happened to him, except he was a lot higher on the racetrack, as we have a battle for the lead brewing up here.
Yeah, Sam Close getting closer and closer to his teammate, Paul Ross, who's leading this thing. Looks like the 3 OG boys are kind of getting away from 3rd place driver Peter Short as they head down in turn 1 and 2.
Oh, Peter Short real loose off exit there. That's funny. As quickly as you say that, Tanner, all of a sudden Peter's back in the mix of this.
Now, where did that throw Luis Salmaso? Luis is actually backed in 20th place, still on the racetrack.
Yeah, luckily he didn't get too much damage there, just a little bit of a nose into the wall. It doesn't look like he got any real damage.
Battle for the lead. Sam Close getting underneath Paul Ross for the top spot. Sam did not lead that time by, but if he gets it right here from Paul.
Ooh, oh man.
Almost, was there contact there? Man, he really dove it in there too.
Ah.
And he wants to challenge for the top spot. Oh, James Duke is out of line.
man, I thought that was going to get a lot worse than it did.
That got hairy, big time. Oh, contact there. Johnny Thomas high above the racetrack. Looked like there was contact between the 88 Rusty Webb and Johnny Thomas. Looks like that may have messed up Rusty Webb's part, because here comes Chad Brown. Right behind them cats is Cameron Rich.
I was going to say, he wants to get through this field pretty quickly here.
So Samuel Close is going to lead. Is he going to win it tonight? Well, we'll find out here at Richmond.
Still searching for that first victory here this season.
He most certainly is. Sam's one of the most...
Got out of line there. And that'll give Peter Short the inside lane here, the preferred lane.
As SimTV would say, we just put the 3 wide TV curse on him, because Sam's now dropped back to second. Peter Short, new race leader.
I have a feeling that Peter's teammate Cameron Rich won't be too far behind once he can navigate this traffic. Ooh, James Duke looked like he got a little out of line there. He's got a good bit of nose damage, and it looks like he's kind of holding up these cats behind him a little bit.
Just a little bit. I just wonder, you know, I mean, I know the feeling on how frustrating it is, you know, how hard it's able to pass around this joint, because you kind of see pretty much it's about less than a second between the top 4 drivers. See Cameron Rich. Oh man, he almost got clipped there from Rusty Webb, huh?
Yeah, he had a good head of steam there. And I'm noticing now in turns 3 and 4, they're starting to move up just a little bit as well. Usually, well, the Richmond, I know you want to hug that yellow line, but I know here on iRacing, these guys have been moving up little by little.
Let's kind of update the drivers that took two tires earlier. Sam Close is one of those drivers. He took 2 tires. Paul Ross was another driver that took 2 tires. Richard Lafferty took 2 tires. Actually, did he stop? No, he stayed out, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And the first man on 4 tires, Chuck Sweeting, has just made his way into the 4th position. He powered around Richard there.
Sure it wasn't Peter Short. I thought it was Sam Close, Paul Ross, Richard Lafferty, and Luis Salmaso. Those were the 4 drivers. I thought those were the 4 drivers.
Those were the 4
I could be
drivers,
wrong. Yeah. Those were the 4 drivers on 2 tires. Peter Short should be on 4 tires.
Yes, he is. He came down the last time.
Yep, so Short is leading the race on 4 tires. Behind him is Sam Close and Paul Ross on 2 tires. So, and Richard Lafferty's still in 5th place. So the 2-tire strategy is holding up.
Oh man, it's getting pretty crazy back here with Cameron Rich. Rusty Webb kind of just followed him through the field there.
Yeah, it's a ticking time bomb back there.
Yeah, Johnny Thomas trying to work on James Duke here. It's going to get pretty close.
Trying to get around Duke, and Duke's actually having some good power on that corner exit there. He's going to get around Thomas. Johnny Thomas is remaining in the 10th place right now.
Well, how about that for James Duke? Even with all that damage he has, running inside that top 10.
James Duke's just not giving up, no matter how much damage that guy can take, man. He's gonna try to go for it. Also, I am seeing a position brewing up here, a battle for 5th. Matt Hackathorn and Richard Lafferty for position. The 2 different lines.
And almost about even on exit there. They kind of reverse lines through 3 and 4 there.
It is a different line. I am seeing Lafferty take a little bit of a higher approach, and then when he gets into the gas, he's kind of taking it down. There goes Hackathorn towards the inside. Yep. There's the move.
And realistically, what you want to do is what you just saw Matt Hackathorn do. Just kind of poke your nose in there and see if the guy will let you have it. Saw earlier with Chad Brown there, kind of just threw it in there. Luckily, he was able to stick it, but preferably you want to just be able to ease your way in there.
How about Chuck Sweeting and Paul Ross going at it?
Yes, sir. Chuck's going to try and make the move underneath Paul.
Paul's not really giving too much of a fight here, even though he's higher in the corners. Chuck Sweeting getting underneath him. Remember, Chuck is on 4 tires. Paul is on 2 tires. But those 2 tires are still holding up fairly well. If anything right now, folks, and this is just in my opinion and my experience, Paul and Sam, especially Richard Lafferty, who's in 5th place, yeah, the guys on 4 tires is faster than you, but what this has given you is track position. You know, we're kind of fanned out right now, and if there's a caution flag, you know everybody's going to come down for 4 tires. So all this gave you was track position. I mean, look at Richard Lafferty. He started 10th. He's currently in 5th. And I know Paul and Sam, they wanted to keep their track position, so they only took 2 tires and as well stayed out. Actually, Paul actually did stay out. So Paul's technically on no tires.
Yeah.
He only had that 1 pit stop.
And I'll tell you what, he's holding up surprisingly better than I thought he would, which kind of shows us that although it wasn't that long of a run, you know, you may be able to gamble with something like that later in the race. I'll tell you what, this race is kind of flying by here. We're almost 20 laps away from halfway here tonight.
And you know what that means at the halfway point.
Yes, sir. Those are all important bonus points.
Most certainly. We got a battle for 2nd brewing up here. Chuck Sweeting now going after Sam Close.
He is just picking them up and putting them down, huh?
What I really like about this here, Justin, is the 3 OG guys are not fighting Chuck Sweeting that hard. They're kind of letting them go, and they're just running their race. That's what. Oh, contact back there between Hackathorn and Lafferty a little bit of a bumper tag. And Cameron Rich is behind these 2 cats as well.
I have a feeling that Cameron, I was going to say, going to get a good run out of that corner. He started off high and did a little diamond effect there. And was able to get around Hackathorn there. That'll put him up to 6th. And I have a feeling it won't be too long before he gets by Richard Lafferty here.
Yeah, so Cameron Rich is he's coming back a little bit after a little bit of a damage from that previous caution, or not the previous caution, but the caution before that.
Tell you what, that battle for the lead heating up, as well as the battle for 3rd there, but Chuck Sweeting all over the back bumper of Peter Short here.
I think Sweeting is faster on a longer run here than what Peter Short is. So, but, you know, time will tell. Both drivers are sitting on 4 tires. So they're on the same amount of tires. Man, what a run off corner number 4. He's going to look towards the inside. Down into turn number 1. Side by side for the top spot. As they head down into 14 degrees of banking. Off of turn number 2, Peter Short's going to come right on back a little bit loose. Coming out of the 26 machine of Chuck Sweeting. Peter Short hanging very strong off that high side. He wants that run off of turn number 4 again to get clear of the 26. And looks like he will.
And while that battle was occurring, Paul Ross back there was able to get the 3rd spot away from teammate Sam Close. Chuck's not quite done yet.
It's not done yet. He's still going to pressure the leader just because you think, oh, almost contact between the 2 drivers. Man, that's the one fear thing that I always really kind of have if you're the race leader and the driver's close next to you is, are you going to get tagged? Are you going to get wiped out? Things like that just do happen because it's racing. But Chuck Sweeting is not going to give up just because he couldn't get around him the first time around.
Oh,
He's
man.
looking towards the inside again. Peter Short doing everything he can to hold off Chuck by pinching him down like that to forbid Sweeting from getting that run off to turn number 4.
And
But
good on.
problem.
I was gonna say good on Chuck for recognizing that he wasn't gonna be able to make that stick. Oh, and Peter a little loose off the corner too.
It's either when someone pitches you down like that, you got two options: A, back out like Chuck did, or B, go ahead and go for it and make contact, and what happens happens. I strongly advise not to go with the second choice.
Yeah, and don't look now. Cameron Rich has just moved up into the third spot and coming quickly here.
And don't look ahead. You're catching lap traffic.
Yeah, and you could see there the wounded 46 there. Hopefully these guys will kind of just let these guys race, as that was really close.
Woo, baby, ever so close, ever so fast. And we're still racing.
Yes, sir. Oh, man.
Oh, nice run off of turn number 2. Peter Short just got to try to escape a little bit from Chuck Sweeting. Maybe Chuck can use the advantage of the lap cars as his pick. We'll have to find out. Or vice versa to Peter Short.
Riding on board here with P2 there. Chuck Sweeting, you can see the lap car is just in front.
Oh, number 46, that's Kyle Hanshaw getting out of the way of the leaders. That's out of respect right there. That's respectful racing.
Yes, sir, and they're about to catch Mike Stevens as well up there. Well, we see Cameron back there in third. He still has a little bit of work to do. About a 1.2 seconds behind. Looks like we got some racing back here in the pack between James Duke and Rusty Webb. That's for 8th position there.
Man, Chuck Sweeting just got extremely loose.
Oh, are we gonna go 3 wide here?
Yeah, we might. I mean, what we got on screen is the biggest battle. I'm still have eyes on the race lead right now, but that biggest battle is on screen between James Duke.
And
Rusty Webb.
Chad Brown has snuck his way in there as well.
It's one great thing I love about this new camera work is that I can keep an eye on 2 screens at once.
Yes, sir.
So the number 76 is on the bottom. That's James Duke trying to get underneath passing Rusty Webb for 8th place. Nothing has happened towards the race lead, but oh, yeah.
That got pretty close there.
Oh, Duke!
Out of shape there.
I think he may have he got out of shape. I think he let Chad Brown go.
He's going to fall back to 10th because of that.
If you can play the Jaws theme in your mind, play it. Like, literally, start playing it in your mind, because 3rd place is coming.
Yeah, he's whittled that position down, or whittled that gap down. And realistically, Tanner, what he can do here is we're about 4 laps away from the halfway point. I'm sure he's thinking about points at this point. Oh! I thought Peter Short got loose entering turn 3 there. And yeah, he did.
Oh, he did.
He's going to lose the lead because of it. And Peter Short, oh no!
Lap traffic.
3 wide.
That cost the 22 car to lose 2 positions on track. Man, but I mean, I don't want 100% pin on the lap car because you caught the lap car at the wrong point. You know, I mean, realistically, you got so much little room on the racetrack.
Yeah, Peter Short was just in a bad position there.
Yeah, he was getting he was already in a bad position coming off turn 4. He got loose into turn 3, loose out of turn 4. That allowed Sweeting to caught. Sweeting used the lap car as a pick to try to get around to back up the 22. And the 22 probably isn't happy on the radio right now, but I mean, at this point, it is what it is, man. You just got to keep focusing on your race. And man, that 22 is loose on the entrance. He's high above the racetrack. All right, it's coming down to it. Can Cameron Rich capture another playoff point ordeal? Because here comes the bonus points. Last lap. Rich is in 2nd. Chuck Sweeting's leading the race. Sweeting's already in the playoffs. Got that victory. Forgot where it was.
I believe that was Kentucky, and believe he's captured 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
Was it Michigan? I believe it was. And looks like he will capture the halfway bonus point there.
Alrighty, the 10th place is coming across the line right now. So,
oh man, that's a good race for it.
It is. I'm going to name off the drivers quickly. Chuck Sweeting, Cameron Rich, Peter Short, Paul Ross, Sam Close, Matt Hackathorn, Johnny Thomas, Chad Brown, James Duke, Richard Lafferty, all got top 10 bonus points. So you might have to replay the video to try to, if you're really trying to keep track of who got the bonus point, because I set it off really fast, because the live timing and scoring, especially at Richmond, especially iRacing scoring, it changes every time someone comes across the line, and it can change in an instant.
Well, that good three-way battle for the lead kind of simmered down there.
It simmered down, but I think right now Cameron Rich is a little better on this longer run than what Chuck Sweeting is. So far, they're acting like that they're different. Last time at the line, Cameron Rich a 22.3, a 22.2 last time at the line. Right now, they're coming to the line. Let's see what the Chuck got, because Chuck's working with some clean air there. Chuck ran a 22.3. Cameron Rich, 22.3. So even this time around.
It looks like Chuck's putting a little bit of a gap between them, but you see here, looks like Cameron's raising his line just a little bit into 3 there.
Matt Hackathorn to pit road. First driver to come down pit road. Excuse me, he's not the first driver to come down pit road, because Paul Ross came down pit road. He's already in his pit box. Got to remember, Paul stayed out the previous not the previous caution, but the caution before that.
And he's away. I was gonna question if we were around that point, and it looks like these guys are answering it.
I'm showing Paul still 1 lap down. Chuck Sweeting is actually coming off of turn number 2. Paul Ross is actually down in turns 3 and 4. So he won't lose 2 laps, but he has lost a lap.
Well, let's see if that brings anybody else down. Not this time. Chuck's going to stay out. Looks like Sam Close. Nope. Oh man, I think we just barely caught that, but boy was Peter Short loose off turn 3 or turn 2 there.
Peter's screaming for some grip.
Let's see if we can get a look at that. So this is him entering turn 1 here. So, yeah. Yeah, that's some good loose there.
Well, while you were looking at all that, I have a track map. I actually have a live track map, and I'm just kind of looking at pit road to see if anybody's going to come down pit road. Yep, number 8, Richard Lafferty hits the pits.
I think he missed pit road. He missed pit road.
Oh no!
I don't know if he got loose or what happened there, but I feel like I don't think he was close enough to even. All right, we're taking a look here. This is turn 3. Now he admits, I don't. Oh, that's strange. Tanner, I think that's some sort of hardware failure there. Yeah.
That looks like a hardware failure to me.
Because he was way past pit road and just kind of started slowing down. It looked like the steering was locked to the left.
It was. You hit the nail on the head.
That's very unfortunate.
That'll cost. Yeah. That's going to cost Lafferty some time. He's already a lap down, so.
And was doing pretty well there earlier in the race. Top 5 and was showing some pretty good speed.
Very unfortunate. He was throwing some very good speed indeed, because he was one of those drivers that stayed out for 2 tires and still staying in the top 5 at the time.
At the moment, everyone kind of just strung out. It looks like this is the best battle on the racetrack between James Duke and Corey Lindsay here.
Haven't talked about too much about Corey here tonight, but guess what? Corey is actually in 8th place, looking for more. Mike Stevens on the bottom there, headed to the pits. You got James Duke in 7th. Lindsay is in 8th. And right behind him is 3 wide. That's Mac Hackathorn. Wisely, Hackathorn backs up because Hackathorn is a lap down. Lindsay's going to put himself up into the 7th position right now. He's got some lap traffic right ahead of him, but here's the problem. That 44 is on fresher tires, so he'll have a better momentum coming off the corner. Lindsay does let him by. Hanshaw's going to give these guys respect.
And it was definitely wise on Hackthorne to back out of that. He knew he was going to be able to get by them anyways, and got him the next corner.
That's the respect that I love to see on sim. Whenever I'm watching any kind of sim racing, is drivers that do that. Yeah, I'm faster than you, but I'm gonna back off, let that unfold. Then I'm gonna go by you. James Duke, with all that damage, still having a pretty good night.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising. Like you said earlier, just doesn't give up, no matter the damage. Well, this is up front at the moment. Chuck Sweeting currently getting by the 33 of Jordan Teal. Put him 2 laps down.
Chuck Sweeting, I'm seeing him on his stint from the last time he made a pit stop. He's going on 73 laps. What did I say it was? 75?
About that, yeah. That's what we were told before the race.
Trying to see if anybody's going to come down pit road. Richard Lafferty, I'm not seeing him on track anymore. Lafferty is actually he made a pit stop.
Oh, and it looks like he's still kind of currently see him back here in 8th, 2 laps down. Looks like he had a little bit of a struggle in turn 3 there, but that car is pretty heavily damaged.
Rusty Webb's kind of gaining on the number 14 of Kevin Finn little by little. I've been kind of keeping an eye on his differential between him and the 14.
It's like, who was that? The 4, Luis Salmaso coming to pit road?
Oh, yeah. And he was one of those drivers that kind of spun out there. Remember that?
Sam Close is actually on pit road, too. And, actually, yeah, he's...
Yep. 2 tires he was on earlier.
Dylan Hickey as well.
Don't speed on pit road. I do believe pit road speed is, I think it's 40 miles an hour.
And you also have to make sure. Yeah, you mentioned that blue cone. You cannot enter the track before that. That's something you definitely have to remember.
Where's Oh, okay. I thought Paul's the last driver on the lead lap.
Sure he is.
Caution comes out, he'll get a lucky dog. But you don't want to caution at this kind of point.
Nope.
If you've already pitted.
Well, we were told that the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw coming in, that around 78 laps was going to be the max on fuel, and Chuck Sweeting just took lap number 79.
Yeah, I sometimes I always say, drivers who give you the fuel numbers, sometimes I think they're fibbing me. They don't want us to reveal their game plan.
They don't want their secrets out there.
Yeah. I will find out your secret though.
Even if I have to pry it out of you.
Yeah. But nobody has visited pit road yet. Corey Lindsay's going by Chad Brown there for 5th.
He's actually
Brown's
coming
down.
Yeah. Almost looked like he almost stopped
Johnny
there
Thomas.
on the track.
Thomas is already down pit road too. Peter Short hitting the pits.
All right, so I have to believe that that's gonna probably bring
Chuck's
Chuck
coming
Sweeting,
in.
and it will, yes.
81 laps.
And Cameron Rich actually gonna stay out.
Cameron Rich stays out. 26 car Sweeting on pit road. Peter Short is in his pit box. I got my track map up, just trying to make sure who's going to come down pit road. Ooh, a bunch of Gaggle drivers coming down pit road. Cameron Rich, James Duke, Kevin Finn hitting pits.
And we just saw
30.
Peter Short leaving there. As you mentioned, 3 guys coming in.
Jordan Teal hitting the pits.
Well, based on how long they can go, Tanner, I think if we don't get another caution, this might be the final pit stop. Based on what these guys were running before, about 80 laps, so...
Yeah, it should be. I am expecting another caution in my arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, hate to say that, but, I mean...
This is short track racing. You can never not expect a caution. Well, Corey Lindsey's your leader at the moment. 78 laps he's run on the track at the moment. And he will bring it down to pit road. And that will put Paul Ross to the lead. And Tanner, looking at as many laps as he's run on his stint, he may be an iffy one to make it to the end.
He might be, yeah, he might be the iffy one. He's going to need a caution. He's going to have to bank on a caution here. But what this gives Paul is track position and the race lead. He has a 5-second over Matt Hackathorn, who was also one of those early drivers to make the pits. And then you got Chuck Sweeting in 3rd place, who is 9 seconds behind. So, I mean, Paul can probably hang out for a little while out towards the front like this.
Chuck trying to get around the 14 of Kevin Finn there. Well, that's
man,
looks like that's trapped quite a few guys a lap down.
This trapped them down indeed. But man, oh man, I'm excited for next season, man. I can't wait to get back in the Cup car and race with the 3 wide guys. This is exciting to me.
Yeah. If it's exciting up here, just imagine what it's like on the track. Got a little taste of it last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night definitely showed me that I still have some work to do.
Last night showed me the old veteran came out.
Oh yeah. Is that in more ways than one over there?
Yeah. I mean, have you noticed I haven't been talking?
Oh, caution's out.
This is the caution that Paul needed.
Corey Lindsey around on the back straightaway.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Take a look at what happened. Oh, he got turned around by James Duke. Go a little bit farther back here and see what exactly happened. So this is going into 1.
Well, I know what I seen. I think Corey took the different line, but Corey already went towards the bottom.
Yeah.
And Duke looked like he just gassed it and hit that left rear quarter panel of the 0-0. And it just put the 0-0 right into the inside wall.
To be fair, it looked like Duke was already down there, but I'm sure Corey didn't expect him to be closing that quick.
No. There was a tire difference between the 2 drivers, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there was maybe little room, but if anything, it was very little. But Paul Ross is coming down pit road. A lot of drivers coming down pit road right now. And this is the caution Paul needed. Oh, but Cameron Rich stays out.
Well, we know he has a fast car tonight. We'll have to see if that plays out for him.
Chuck Sweeting. Oh, he's down pit road. My bad.
Paul's off. 4 tires. And like you said, that's the caution he needed.
It was the caution he needed, but kind of showing here, Cameron Rich and Luis Salmaso have stayed out. So if anything, this will put Paul in 3rd place. But what this really gave him was that track position, because you got to remember, he did stay out under one of them cautions. He was able to hang on in the top 5. He lost only a couple spots in the top 5, and he pitted early, got the race lead, caution comes out, and you're still in the top 5. You're about 3rd right now. That ain't bad. And I think Salmaso just pitted.
I was going to say, check that. It's just going to be...
So 2nd.
Yeah.
And fresher tires in the 17. Well, we'll see how this works out. think Cameron Rich is actually pulling a Paul right here, right now.
Just taking a look at the race summary there. 65 laps to go. This is our 5th caution of the night. Completed 18, coming around to take 19 caution laps.
Right there, that's awesome right there. 5 cautions here at Richmond. Usually you probably would see more, but these guys are doing such a fantastic job here tonight. It's been awesome. That's why I'm like, man, I wish I was out there, because the green flag racing, you know, I love the green flag racing. I could go on iRacing and race, but realistically, I'm not familiar with the ones I'm racing around, and usually the races just end up being wreck fests.
I feel like I'd have to get back into iRacing a little bit to be confident enough to race with these guys, because you've seen it up here. This competition is quite fierce.
Well, believe me, Justin, there's been times I've lost a lot of confidence in myself, you know, especially racing in the 3-wide racing league. But, you know, got to keep your faith up. You got to keep, you know, got to keep working at it. You know, you can't let the bad races define who you are out there on the racetrack.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, all those fails, at least I can come up here and call some amazing races.
I was surprised to see you out there last night in the truck race.
Well, thankfully, when Carlos is not racing, I'm able to hop in his truck. Thanks to Carlos for that, and once again, hello, Carlos. Hope you're feeling well. I know we had a little bit of a scare earlier in the broadcast, but it looks like everything's all set, and we're getting ready to complete these next 65 laps. Will we see another caution? I think that's going to be the big question.
Here we go. Coming back to the green flag racing. Cameron Rich, Paul Rott. Cameron Rich is the only driver that stayed out. Everybody else pitted. We're back green at Richmond.
And no surprise, quite the jump from Cameron Rich there, and the race is on for 2nd.
Just wondering if Sweeting there, it looks like he's going to get around Paul. More than likely, Paul, a little bit of a different line. Maybe he can capture that 3rd place spot right there before the number 22 comes in.
Looks like he just missed it, and I'm seeing behind. I don't know when Sam got it, but it looks like he has some good front-end damage there.
Not sure when he got that, but it's not affecting him. He's still running in 5th
place. Oh, that's going to affect him. Oh, and he's going to save it. What a save.
Holy moly. We got to look at that replay.
Yeah.
That looked like a ricochet hit, though.
Definitely. Well, that's going to give him some more damage, but taking a look here. Yeah, checked up for the 22 with Peter Short there, and
oh, slight contact to the left rear quarter panel of the 22. Very slight.
Take one more look at it here.
Like, it was after the 44 hit him, and the 5 is sideways, but he does slightly tap that left rear quarter panel. Watch right there.
That was a good hit. But somehow he saved it. And he'll keep rolling in the 6th position at the moment.
Battle for a top spot. Brewing up.
Yes, sir.
Sweeting. You got Rich, Sweeting, and Ross. Top 3.
With Peter Short not too far behind as well.
Here's the difference, though. Tires. And it's not. And it's showing that you got that the drivers with the 4 tires, they have speed, but again, it's one of them scenarios where you just can't, where you just don't run over the guy. You're trying not to run over the guy. Ooh.
Cameron just about got that wall off turn 2. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit right now.
Back to my point, Cameron Rich is doing everything he can to hold on, to hang on to that line. Keep continuously running that same line. Richmond is a rhythm racetrack. If you can hold on to that line, they're going to have a difficult time getting around you.
Chuck Sweeting got a little bit checked up as well. Backed up the corner a little bit.
This kind of, you know, I know Richmond's a totally different racetrack, but it kind of reminds me of the Kansas race last night, to where you're following somebody, but at times you have to check up so you don't run into them.
I can't tell you how many times I did that last night, and gets a little tiring after a while, but
I had to tap the brakes a couple times, even though during practice I wasn't using the brakes at all.
I barely lifted it out of the throttle over there.
Cameron Rich is actually able to pull a little bit of a distance there, not so much on entrance right there down in turns 1 and 2. Paul Ross putting a little pressure on the 26, saying, let's go, man. And 26 is like, man, I can't. He's riding the same line I can. You know, he's got the track position.
That's kind of one of the things I've noticed from Chuck Sweeting tonight. He hasn't moved around a whole lot, where we've seen some drivers get a little bit higher into the corner and kind of dime it in. It seemed like Chuck's just about been close to that yellow line all race, and it looked like Paul got a little bit loose entering the corner there.
And 2 different lines, and that actually helps Cameron's corner exit right there. They're coming up on some lap traffic. That's Mike Stevens ahead. Oh, Sweeting, a little bit of a weird angle on entrance. That allowed Paul to get to that back bumper, but Paul could not get the momentum on corner exit.
See if this lap car will have any effect. Nope, Mike Stevens will keep out of the way as Paul Ross just eats up Chuck Sweeting's back bumper there.
Into turns 3 and 4, as we're coming off turn 4 right now. The top 3 drivers only separated by 0.4 of a second with 50 laps to go. Man, Paul really gets in there pretty hard.
Got that battle for the lead going on. Do want to check up on, looks like we got a little bit of a gaggle back here looking at the 91 of Dylan Hickey. Well, he's actually going to slide up the racetrack, and looks like that's all going to settle down.
We haven't talked too much about Dylan Hickey here tonight.
No, we haven't. And currently just in 11th at the moment, so. Back up front.
Yeah, that top 3, man. They're just single file. I apologize, I'm pretty silent. There's just not a whole lot of action going on with anybody here. Nobody's kind of pulled out a lie. I have been trying to keep an eye on the race lead just to see what's going to happen. They're nose to tail. Peter Short is actually in the 4th spot. Right behind him, it could be a battle brewing up between Johnny Thomas and Matt Hacklethorne for 5th. Luis Salamasso is back in the top 10 after that spin off of turn number 2. And behind him is Sam Close, who's in 8th place. Sam's actually got some damage. Don't know if that's slowing down his momentum a little bit. Possibly could be.
Sure be a shame, too, because he definitely had some good speed here tonight. But, yeah, that looks like some good damage there. Let's, take a look at what he sees. Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good damage right there on the 5 car's part.
And what I saw there, Tanner, he actually moved up a groove, a full groove. I don't think we've seen too many people do that here tonight yet.
Well, hopefully it works out, because right ahead of him
Oh! He just about lost it on the front straightaway there.
Sam.
Yeah.
Holy moly, dude. Excuse me.
He's hurting for handling right now.
Just a little bit. How about Johnny Thomas? Definitely catching Peter Short. Peter Short's actually losing ground to the top 3 drivers.
Johnny Thomas has been pretty quiet here tonight, running in the top 5. Just kind of running his race.
And he was fairly quiet last night in the truck race because Johnny finished. Where did he finish? 2nd place? No, he finished 3rd. I think he finished 3rd, didn't he?
I couldn't tell.
Oh my God. I could have sworn because they did interview him last night. I can actually bring it up. I can bring it up here in a sec.
I can tell you he wasn't quite on the radio. He had a little mix up with Paul Ross last night. I think it was just heat of the moment, though.
Yeah, usually all that's heat of the moment stuff. By the way, Johnny Thomas did finish third last night.
I thought that battle for the lead was getting a little closer than it looked. But looks like they've all kind of just spread out for the moment.
Spreading out indeed. Something's going to happen between those top three drivers. I just know it. And Sweeting's actually looking towards the inside now. But a little bit of a different line on entrance for Cameron Rich that's allowing the momentum on corner exit. Oh, coming up on lap traffic here. That's Chad Brown just ahead. Lap traffic can always play dividends in what's going to happen for the leaders. Brown's taking the bottom. That's usually the preferred groove. Looks like he's going to take the high side. Kind of getting out of the way. Just caught the leader on caught him on corner exit. Looks like they'll all top three drivers will get by Chad Brown.
Good on him for staying high up there.
Peter Short has actually kind of gained a little bit on the top three guys. Looking at the time differentials there, lap traffic could play a part in that. Well, biggest mover of the race here. I'm going to have to get, actually it's two drivers right off the bat. That is going to be Cameron Rich, started 20th. He's leading the race. And Dylan Hickey started 21st up to 10th. No, that wouldn't be right. Excuse me, it would be Cameron Rich. The biggest mover of the race.
And that's no surprise, really. I'll tell you what, he's got some pressure being applied to him right now from Chuck Sweeting. And Paul Ross just kind of back there in third, hoping that if something happens, he can follow Chuck Sweeting through.
Chuck, man, he just wants that race lead. He is breathing down the neck and the shoulders of the 17, Cameron Rich. He wants that run on corner exit. Look like he's going to look towards the inside right now. Is he going to be able to get the lead from Cameron? Cameron can get the run off turn 4 if he has the right line.
And he will.
Pinches him down a little bit. There's that run off turn number 4. Still side by side for the top spot.
And I think Chuck's probably going to get it here on turn 2. No, it's still going to be side by side coming off that corner, and Cameron's going to have the momentum here down the back.
So hard to hold off the race leaders who are on 4 tires, and you're about 8 lap older tires than the other guys. Right here just practically makes it equal competition.
Yeah.
Because Cameron's just so fast wherever he goes. Sweeting's actually been in that area where he's fast no matter where he goes. Even Paul Ross as well.
He's going to take another look.
Chuck got a little loose, but it worked. Ooh. He made it stick on the bottom. I don't know if he's going to get the good run off. Oh, and problems for Sam Close. He has brought it to the garage.
Oh, man. Such good speed tonight, too.
Something happened to Sam, and yes, while he was racing out there, he blew the engine blew. Too much front-end damage. That caused his number 5 to go to the garage.
It's a shame. Well, that's going to put quite a lot of people out of this race while we have the moment. Sam Close, Mike Stevens.
Samuel Close will not get his first win of the seasons. And hey, Cameron Rich got a little loose coming off turn number 2. This will allow a side-by-side battle between Sweeting and Rich.
That's going to be really... Oh, Cameron loose off the corner.
Oh, door to door. It was Cameron Rich at the line. Oh, pushing Rich up the track just a little bit to slow down that momentum. Still battling for the top spot. And sitting right behind him is the third place car, the 18, who's practically in the popcorn position, but if the 18 somehow gets involved in whatever's happened between these two cats, the other popcorn position is going to go to that 22 car of Peter Short.
Yeah, Paul has to stay pretty close here right now.
Not giving up on the bottom. The 17 ain't giving up on the high side.
Paul has to make...
Oh, man, it's going to be close coming to the line. Oh, I couldn't even call it.
Paul's got to make sure that he stays close to Chuck Sweeting at this point because...
1/100th of a second.
He needs to be able to follow... He needs to be able to follow Chuck through.
Really badly, man. There's nowhere for Paul right there to go. Oh, Paul almost gets in the left rear quarter panel. Here we go. Come off turn 4 again. Oh, Rich actually hits the wall. That's going to slow him down. Paul's going to try and take advantage of this. New leader, Chuck Sweeting. Second place goes to Paul Ross.
And like I was going to say, Paul had to be sure to keep close to be able to follow him through, and he does just that.
Got hairy for a minute when Rich actually hit the wall. All right, so the top 4 drivers are nose to bumper here. Chuck Sweeting, Paul Ross, Cameron Rich, and Peter Short. Peter Short's in that 22 Mike's Hard Lemonade Ford. And the other battles going on the racetrack. I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot. I did see Luis Salmaso gain a little ground on the 6th place car of Matt Hackathorn.
Well, Tanner, I think these final
what 20... can Paul Ross do to try to gain on the leader? I do believe the Justin has some mic technical difficulties there. Nonetheless, the show keeps going. Chuck Sweeting out front. He's caught lap traffic. He's got to get around James Duke. Battle is on point for 2nd place, though. Looked like the 17 of Cameron Rich tried getting around Paul. Does not happen. Paul on the bottom side of the racetrack back there. He's feeling this pressure from his teammate of Eisentech Enterprise, Peter Short. Sweeting's trying to get around traffic now. Cameron Rich on the bottom of the 18 of Ross. And Peter Short's going to follow. Oh, Peter Short actually got loose coming off turn number 4. And oh, maybe contact between the 2 drivers. They're door to door. The reason why I said contact is because they were extremely close to each other. 22 dove it in there. 18 tried pinching them off. 18 of Ross still has 3rd. Cameron Rich doing a magnificent job. Oh, man. Ross just, like, slammed the door on the 22 of Peter Short. Kind of had to because they're coming up on lap traffic here. And Duke is in the wall, almost clipping the right rear quarter panel of Ross. Lap traffic in the way. Cameron Rich had to take a different line now, and that messed up his line because they're trying to get around Brent Miller. Ross is trying to fight on, trying to get closer to Cameron Rich. Man, it's a 3-way battle for practically 2nd place.
Oh, James Duke going to get turned around.
Side. Caution flag is out. James Duke, number 76, has wrecked on the back straightaway. Got together with Johnny Thomas. That's twice in this race now that those 2 drivers have made some sort of contact. Crab walking it down pit road goes James Duke. We'll have to see what happened on that on the replay. Yeah, coming off turn number 2, you see that right there, getting into the left rear quarter panel of Duke, and it just spun Duke right around, bringing out the 6th caution of the evening. Hopefully, Justin, are you back?
I don't know if Tanner can hear me right now.
Not. So the show keeps going. Chuck Sweeting's bringing the field down pit road after leading the race. This is going to throw everybody 4 tires right now. Cameron Rich already done with those 4 tires. He will beat Ross. Does he beat? You know something? Cameron Rich does not go for 4 tires. He goes for 2 tires. He wants that lead right back. Yeah, I'm showing 2 tires. 11.5. That's 2 tires. Dylan Hickey stayed out. Does not officially lead a lap. So nonetheless, the race off pit road. Cameron Rich, Chuck Sweeting, Peter Short, Johnny Thomas, and Paul Ross. Paul Ross, a slower pit stop than usual. That's why Johnny's ahead of you. About a 2nd difference on a pit stop. According to my timing and scoring here, and actually no, Paul Ross looks like he got a penalty. He's very slow. Oh, daggone. think it was for speeding. I'm going to go back and watch his entrance to the pits. Pit road speed limit is 40 miles an hour. On screen is Johnny Thomas. Paul did not get busted for speeding on entrance.
Not sure if Tanner can hear me now, but and it looks like he cannot. So 15 laps.
Well,
to
with
go.
that being said here, folks, since we're still under the caution flag, let's go ahead and bring up, I'm going to bring up Paul Ross here just to see what exactly happened. Hopefully he's not in the conversation. Paul Ross, 3YTV, you got a copy?
Yes, I do. How's it going?
Hey, man, what happened on pit road there?
That did not merge properly. Coming off of pit road, didn't follow the blend-in line. I didn't realize I didn't realize that they used that under caution. I thought it was just during green flag stuff.
All right, well, best of luck to you, man. Hopefully you can get up towards the front.
Yep. Did Cam take two?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
All right, not sure if Tanner can hear me now, but we're getting ready for the restart. Cam and Rich is off, and the green flag is out. It'll be Chuck Sweeting to second. He's going to check up just a little bit there. Peter Short going to follow suit. Oh, Johnny Thomas in the fourth spot. Got Luis Salmaso and Matt Hackthorne battling back there for fifth. And Luis not able to put the move on Johnny there. And Cam and Rich kind of checking out at the moment. The battle's on for second between Chuck Sweeting and Peter Short at the moment. And everybody kind of strung out at the moment. Chuck Sweeting starting to apply some pressure now on Cam and Rich here. Gonna try and get to the inside. That's gonna be pretty tight coming off the corner. Side by side into one. Cameron led that lap. To turn one, can Chuck make it stick? Cameron loose. It looks like Chuck will be able to clear him. Not quite. He will into three, though. Off the corner. Put Chuck Sweeting to the point. 10 laps to go. Side by side for second. Peter Short really loose into turn one. Oh, and there goes Johnny Thomas around on the back straightaway. Caution is out. Peter Short trying to hang on to it. Oh, and contact. Huge contact. Upside down is the 22 of Peter Short. The 18 of Paul Ross involved in that. Take a look at what happened here. Really loose into the corner. Got three wide. Unfortunately, Johnny Thomas was right there. And Peter's still trying to hang on to it. Comes right out up on the track. And Matt Hackthorne involved in that. As it looks like we got Tanner back here.
Yeah, everything just totally went dead on my end. No audio, no nothing. I couldn't even hear you, Justin, at all. I'm like, I can't hear Justin. Justin's messaging me up the storm. I'm fine, man. Nonetheless, I don't know what happened, but nonetheless, we just did have a caution. What happened there, Justin?
Well, unfortunately, the 22 of Peter Short mentioned he'd been struggling a little bit with handling tonight. Loose off turn number 2 there. And hit Johnny Thomas in the process. So Johnny got a little bit of damage there. And Peter Short trying to hang on to it, was not able to. Up into turn 3. Huge contact with Peter Short, Paul Ross, and I believe it was Dylan Hickey. And the 22 of Peter Short ended up on his lid, and I believe, nope, not done quite yet, but it looks like the 6th lap rule will be in effect here.
Yeah, I just looked back to that replay as Johnny Thomas. What a great save, by the way. He didn't hit the inside wall, so he should be able to get back in this thing, at least gain a couple positions before the night is over. He's still on the lead lap, so that's a good thing. But Chuck Sweeting is now out front. Cameron Rich, man, he's just hanging on.
Well, I'd like to say that we're going to go racing here with
we will
5 laps to go, maybe 4, but this is going to be quite the intense restart. Chuck Sweeting just did a whole lot of work to get past the 17 of Cam Rich. Now he's going to have to hold him off again.
Been a lot of new updates to the 3-Wide TV crew here in the last, actually less than a week. So we're just kind of getting the gremlins all out a little bit.
Yeah, well, they've been in full force tonight, haven't they?
They have, but this should not be happening every single week, so we'll be continuing to work on them as the days come up. But nonetheless, Chuck Sweeting is out front. He's going to have to hold on. We're going to see one. Actually, we're not going to go. We will go back green one more time here tonight. But if caution comes out, that's going to end the race. Keep that in mind because iRacing does not have green-white checkers, and we're not doing green-white checkers, and we don't do one-lap shootouts. So keep that in mind. Sweeting could go for his 3rd win of the season.
Well, before we go green, like you said, one more caution and it's over. Pace car lights are still on, surprisingly, but take a look at the race summary here tonight. Chuck Sweeting, your leader, with 6 laps to go. Seen 7 cautions tonight for 29 caution laps. Are we done with them tonight? Will we end this race under green or yellow? We're going to find out here.
1 to go signal this time around. Let's reset the field for you. Chuck Sweeting, your race leader. Cameron Rich is in 2nd. 3rd place, Luis Salamasso. 4th place, Paul Ross. Rookie Dylan Hickey in the Cup Series started 21st, already up to 5th place. Chad Brown is currently in 6th. Johnny Thomas in 7th. 8th place, Corey Lindsay. 9th place, Rusty Webb. Rounding out the top 10 is Matt Hackathorn. And all those drivers I named off, obviously, are on the lead lap. First car, 1 lap down, 2 laps down. Kevin Finn in 12th.
With 1 to go here, Tanner, I just want to give a huge shout-out to Luis Almaso. How about him? Spun out earlier in the race, able to work his way back up through the field, coming to the green with 4 to go. And we were a little bit behind there, but see what he can do here tonight.
4 laps to go. Johnny Thomas a little bit in trouble. Goes high above the racetrack along with Paul Ross. Paul Ross slipping back. He does not want to be on that outside row anymore. He's trying to get towards the inside, but there's no room to get to the inside. He's battling with his teammate Rusty Webb. Cameron Rich still trying to hang on for 2nd place over the number 4 of Salmasso. And Ross is actually backing up right now. Paul should be able to get to the inside right here. He should. Man, there's some blocking going on in the back of the pack right there. Teal and Brown going at it. Oh, man, it's really tight and sketchy back there. Nonetheless, 2 laps remaining. Chuck Sweeting's just got to hang on.
Oh, man, yeah, it's getting really racy back there, but 2 laps to go, coming to the white.
White flag for Chuck Sweeting to capture his 3rd win of the season. Cameron Rich looks like he's going to hang on. He's on the same tires now as Sweeting and the 4 of Salmasso. Off of down in turn number 3 and 4. Chuck Sweeting is going to take his momentum and he's going to cruise into the playoffs because he just captured his 3rd win of the season at Richmond. Cameron Rich in 2nd. 3rd. Oh, Johnny Thomas spins across the start-finish line. Johnny Thomas officially finishes 5th. Unofficially, sorry.
Man, what a race we just had.
I love that green flag racing we had here, though. That was pretty cool. All right.
Well,
Let's go ahead and bring some drivers up here. First off, I'm going to try to see if I can try to find Chuck Sweeting, because I did not see him in the in here at all. So he's not in Discord, but he might show up. So let's go one down to Cameron Rich. Cameron Rich, 3YTV, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, Cameron, man, it was a tough race for you overall. After starting 20th, you elected not to take a qualifying lap. It took you a little time to get towards the front. You eventually got there. You led some laps. You actually also took some pit strategy and that track position to stay up towards the front. I have to ask you, when you did that, when you're on older tires by about 8 laps, is it that difficult or not really that difficult to hold off guys who are on 4 fresh tires?
Depends on the track and the situation, honestly. The weather made it kind of sort of viable, so I thought, you know, what the hell do I have to lose? So I tried it, and you know, holding Chuck off's never an easy thing. Don't matter if I have 4 fresh tires, or hell, get the spare on there too. Put 8 on it. I don't care. You know, he's gonna be tough no matter what. But hope you guys liked that battle for the lead. That was some good stuff.
That was a lot of good stuff. I mean, not just towards the end there, but I mean, when you were holding off Sweeting and Ross, I mean, that was a very good battle. I mean, kind of reminded me of me battling with you back at South Boston a little while ago. But nonetheless, Cameron, my second question to you is, you know, you're fast practically everywhere you go, and that's always a great thing, you know, to have in your mind. You're fast, so you know you can stay up front and be competitive. Does your mindset change when you know you're going to be leading into the playoffs? These guys into the playoffs. Does your mindset change than regular season?
Not really. No, I went out there tonight like any other week and just tried to get a win. You know, I want to win every race I can, and no matter if it's in the regular season or not. You know, just gotta. I want to get those bonus points and just, you know, show everybody that I'm here to go to Homestead, hopefully.
All right, and speaking of the playoffs, and you said, hey, hopefully go to Homestead, let's talk about next week. We go to the Milwaukee Mile for the first race of the RaceKings Cup Series playoff race at the Milwaukee Mile, 200 laps. How do you feel about getting it done right off the bat?
I like flat tracks. I think I'm pretty good at them. Last year, I know Peter was bad fast and Chuck was bad fast too, so I know they'll be contenders like every week. You know, it's just normal for them. They're really quick, and I know Paul's gonna be fast. Sam, he's always fast. I know he hasn't gotten his win yet, but I know he's gonna ramp it up in the playoffs. But you know, just we'll take each race as it comes, and just, you know, do it race by race. And before I go, I just want to say sorry to Kevin. I plowed through him on that restart. I did not mean to at all. I just misjudged my braking point or whatever. I thought I was I had my brake marker set, and you know, I don't, you know, he's the last person I want to get into, and I just feel really bad about it. I know that caused a big wreck, and so I'm really sorry to everybody that was involved.
All right, you've heard it from him. That's Cameron Rich, who finishes second here tonight, and he will lead the field into the 2018 RaceKings Cup Series playoffs. Congratulations, Cameron, on that, and best of luck next week at the Milwaukee Mile. All right, so let's go to the our race winner down in Victory Lane. Justin, I'm going to give you... come on, get off here, stupid Discord glitch. Chuck Sweeting, I'm going to give you Chuck Sweeting.
All right, Chuck Sweeting, 3YTV, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, racing up front with Cameron most of the night got pretty interesting there, those final couple laps. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder if it was going to happen or not. Cameron was using some strategy with tires or not pitting at all at times, and I knew he was going to be tough. I was kind of waiting for him all race to get up there, and it was tough. We had quite a battle side by side for a lot of laps there, but we ran each other really clean, and it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate him racing me like that. It's always fun when you can race side by side with somebody.
Yes, sir. So those final 4 laps there, that final restart. Did you think he had anything for you, or I'm sure you were a little bit worried there?
I just knew I couldn't make any mistakes because he was right there. But my tires were better than his, so I felt pretty comfortable. I just, had to make sure I didn't put the wheel wrong and bring it home.
Yes, sir. And your 3rd win of the season so far as we head off into the playoffs. That's got to be some good momentum.
Yeah, I was looking forward to Richmond. I'm usually pretty good here, but I knew Cam and some of the other guys were going to be good too. So I wasn't counting on it being a win, but I was had my fingers crossed for it, and I had to work for it tonight too. So yeah, hopefully that'll carry over to Milwaukee next time, and I usually run pretty well there. So hopefully the momentum will carry over, and we'll have a good finish there, maybe a win.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on making the playoffs here tonight. Before we let you go, always want to give you a chance to shout out the sponsors and the team and everybody else that made this possible here tonight.
Yeah, as always, thanks to Corey for everything he does for the league and for 3Y TV for broadcasting. And thanks to my team, Randall Fox Racing, and our sponsors, I Take Computer, Chevy Performance, Liberty Overhead Doors, everybody that makes it all possible.
All right, that's Chuck Sweeting, your winner here tonight, and some good momentum as we head into the playoffs.
All right, I'm running up and down pit road here trying to find Luis Salmassa, and I found Mr. Luis Salmassa. And Luis, you got a copy?
I do, sir.
Luis, you've it looked like your night was almost over at one point here tonight. You had a little bit of spin up off of turn number 2. Didn't really do anything damage to the race car, but you fought your way back to a top 3 spot. Congratulations on that, but tell me about your night overall.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was very, very scary. When that wall got way, way, way too close, and I lost control because I went way too deep into the turn 1 after the restart. Was not really aware of how my tires were. We stayed out as a team strategy, and in order not to hit Sam that was on the outside, I hit the brakes way too hard, and then completely lost control. Tried to correct mid-turn, and the thing just kept spinning to the when we got to the backstretch. So just did everything that I could not to hit. Did a little tap, so the front end of the car was a little bit wrong. Didn't have any damage, so I'm not really sure if the car was 100% or not. But came back and just slowly and steady, just like keep it on the track. Let people die, let people make mistakes. Just keep it on the track and see what you can do. So made it all the way back after the pit stops, and I was the lucky dog, got a lap back, and then it was just trying to avoid everybody, and it worked. It worked.
It definitely worked, and you did a good job to get a top 3 spot. I tell you what, man, when you talked about turn 2, my question is to you, how different is turn 2 from turn 4? Because it looks like some drivers do struggle to come off turn 4, but there has to be some difference between the two. In your driver's perspective, what's the difference?
Start by the approach to the angle of the turn, because turn 2 you have the outside wall right there on the exit because of the front of the backstretch coming in, so you don't have that exit arc that you can literally let the car just roll to the outside and keep the pressure on the gas. So you need to be very precise on the angle that you hit the turn, because all of a sudden that outside wall is there, and once you realize that you were way too close, you're going to hit it, or you're going to have to step on the brakes, and whoever is coming behind you is going to collect you. There's nothing you can do. Turn 4 is a completely different thing. It's the opposite. You can let the car go. You can let the car roll to the outside following that arc. But at the same time, because you don't have to worry so much with the arc, you need to be extra careful not to over accelerate, not to be too aggressive on the gas, because with the arc, the car is going to roll and the back end of the car is going to roll with. So you may lose the front at the exit of 2. You may lose the back on the exit of 4 if you're not careful. So completely different approaches, and guys may approach this in completely different ways. We saw guys being extremely aggressive, diving into turn 1 and just trying to almost diamond the turn, like stopping the car mid through and then come out of of the turn super fast, and we saw guys really taking it easy, let the car roll all the way around. So it was very interesting to see the different styles, the different techniques, and especially with the green flag run that we had, you could tell like who was able to save a little bit of tires, who was struggling midway through. So Richmond's not one of my favorite tracks. It's not one of those tracks that I look forward to coming, but it's always a good barometer of different styles, different techniques, different racing crafts all the way through.
Tremendous explanation right there for sure. And Luis, you're not just yourself, but your team is riding very strong. It's very unfortunate for Sam tonight, who blew an engine. But you, however, a part of that 3OG team, you've been another driver that's been really competitive. I mean, from the month of May all the way to today, you've only had 2 bad finishes. Back on May 21st, you finished 20th at Iowa. You finished 28th, July 16th at Daytona. Every other finish has been a top 10 finish, with the worst finish of a 9th, which was at Indianapolis. You're riding on the high rail, man. How's this momentum going to affect you towards the beginning of this playoffs? Because you are a playoff driver now. How do you feel about getting the victory lane at Milwaukee, or what are your chances of like?
I only raced there once, and it was last year. And it was one of those races that I came in right at the moment, never had done anything on the track. So hopefully going to have some time to practice this year. I like the sequence of the tracks that we have coming in, so they suit my driving style a lot more than the earlier parts. Like you mentioned, Iowa, I hate that track. It's not my track at all, especially in the Monster Cup cars. It just doesn't fit how I like to drive my driving style. And Daytona, we got caught up on the big one, so it's one of those things. But I like the mile and a half. They suit me more than short runs, short courses, the whole thing. Even though we have Phoenix coming up, it's a track that I like. It drives a lot more open than the true short courses, so it's one of those things. And that's something that we as a team have been talking about. Just get to the end. Make sure that you're there at the end. Don't kill yourself. Don't do anything stupid. Just play the game and make sure that you have when the opportunity is there, you can pounce. So that's what we were trying to do, because we were locked in before the race started. We didn't have that worry of having to finish tonight, like to qualify and everything. And I'm pretty sure Paul's going to be up there with the wins, maybe getting in the first round bye, which is going to be really good, because then he can really help us out with different strategies, different things, play a little bit of a team game on that first round, make sure that we can advance. But it's going to be interesting. I think we'll see a lot of guys being very conservative, not trying to risk anything. And this was going to open up the doors to those guys that are fast and can win races and maybe didn't even qualify. So we'll see. Milwaukee's going to be interesting. It's a track that NASCAR doesn't race there. We'll see how the setups is gonna behave. We'll see how these guys are going to work, especially if it's hot. It's going to be slick. It's going to be complicated. Probably going to be one of the best broadcasts of the year for sure.
Welcome to my neck of the woods, because I'm about an hour north from Milwaukee. But nonetheless, Luis, congratulations on the 3rd place finish. You guys over there at 3OG's got the chemistry, you got the momentum, and hopefully we'll see you guys up towards the front end victory lane in the future races. So congratulations tonight, and best of luck next week.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the broadcast.
That was Luis Salmasso, who finishes in the 3rd position here. And all right, let's see if we can probably wrap her up here. Let's go to the unofficial results here tonight. Chuck Sweeting gets the victory after starting 2nd here tonight. Been up front all night long. How about Cameron Rich starting 20th and finishes in 2nd place? Good run for him. Luis Salmasso started 6th, finishes 3rd. Rookie Dylan Hickey gets 4th place for Rebel Racing. He'll after starting 21st on the night. So good run for Dylan. Johnny Thomas started 15th. He finishes in 5th. Rusty Webb started 12th and finishes in 6th. Paul Ross gets in 7th place here tonight. Richard Lafferty finishes in 8th. 9th place, Chad Brown. Corey Lindsay, after starting 24th, finishes in 10th there, Justin.
Yes, sir. And just outside the top 10 here is going to be Matt Hackthorne, who finishes 11th here tonight. Kevin Finn will come home 12th. Brent Miller 13th. Jordan Teal will come home 14th. Kyle Hanshaw will come 15th. Peter Short 16th. James Duke will come home 17th. Sam Close, unfortunately, in the 18th position. He had a very fast car, as well as Peter Short as well. Those finishing positions definitely don't show the speed those cars had tonight. Mike Stevens will come home 19th, and Richard Hines will round out the top 20.
Blackjack position tonight, Stephen Kettman finishes 21st. Tate Lytle finishes in 22nd. 23rd, David Wilson after a strong qualifying start. And Levi Zielinski will finish the 24th position and final position of the evening after starting on the Drive for Suicide Prevention pole. So that's unfortunate for Levi, and don't mind me. I'm up here in the booth. Yeah, I kind of messed up there. I actually got into the league session instead of the spectator session. I finished 25th. How's that? But nonetheless, here tonight, Justin, we got a couple thanks here, then final thoughts, and wrap her up. So let's go ahead and give our thanks to RaceKings, who sponsored the Cup Series this season of 2018. So we thank you so much for that. Thanks for Drive for Suicide Prevention for sponsoring the Pole Award each and every single week. We'd like to thank you for that as well. Thank you to the organizers of the 3Y Racing League, Corey Lindsay, who puts on such a great league, really, an awesome league every single week, Sunday nights and Monday nights. And thanks to its drivers for putting on such a great show. Justin, Milwaukee Mile next week, 200 laps, starts race number 1 of the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the season has kind of flown by, and now we're to the point where everybody was looking forward to the playoffs, getting into championship form here, and Milwaukee should be a pretty interesting track. I myself don't have a whole lot of experience, but I know they can put on some pretty good racing, and like you said, it's your neck of the woods, so I'm looking forward to it.
I do got to make a little bit of a correction here. I've been saying next week is the playoff. It's actually 2 weeks from now. So August 27th, 2018, be here at 9 p.m. Eastern on 3Y TV for the playoffs. 12 drivers, 1 championship. And it'll be the first 12 drivers in the first 3 races. You got Milwaukee Mile, Watkins Glen, and Dover. And then there will be 9 drivers remaining. So 3 drivers will be cut away from the playoffs. But the biggest race next week begins the playoffs at the Milwaukee Mile in 2 weeks' time on the 27th. All right, also, thanks to the crew tonight. Justin Kolb, you did a fantastic job despite the glitch gremlins here tonight, for sure. I mean, you pulled the double duty, so you should get double pay. You'll have to get on Carlos' case about that. Carlos, hopefully everything is all and well with you, man. Hopefully you get back here next week at full health. All right. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, absolutely. We hope to have you back soon, Carlos, and thanks, everybody, for dealing with the issues. Obviously, didn't quite expect for it to start off that rough, but was a pretty good race nonetheless, I feel. And like we said, the leader of the helm will be back 2 weeks' time.
All right, everybody, time to wrap her up. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is Justin Kolb. We will see you in 2 weeks' time, live from the Milwaukee Mile here on the 3Y TV for round 1 of the 2018 Race King playoffs. See you later, everybody.